A lot of people today are pretty stressed out. There's a ton going on, and so there's good reason to feel challenged. But I'd like to suggest that there's something we can do about it other than think about the problem. And that thing is embodiment. Embodiment is a way that we can use our human superpowers, our inner wiring, what's inside us to help ourselves to feel better. And it's really that we get so busy thinking that we forget to be. We don't know how to be. And we're thinking so much we don't know how to feel, and we don't know how to sense, and we don't know how to tune in to the wisdom that's inside of us. And the truth is, when we do that, it feels good. It feels better. We start to feel whole again. So it's about embodiment, and that includes mind, body, and spirit. We hear about all those things. We hear about mindfulness, but mindfulness isn't really just thinking. Mindfulness, I'd like to suggest, is about being. So how do we be? We get in our body. We get with ourselves, our whole selves. Our whole selves are kind of inside, and sometimes we're looking outside for the answers, something that's missing, but we can't find it because we already have it, right? Nobody is really going to give us the thing that we need. What we need is ourselves. What we need is our wholeness. What we need is our truth, the truth of who we are. And we find that when we connect to ourselves. And really, humans have been doing this for centuries, right? Humans used to be more connected to the earth. They didn't have so many things like social media, for example, and politics and news pulling them out of themselves. And so we need something to sort of counterbalance all of those external forces. And that is remembering the internal wisdom of our body, the internal wisdom of our superpowers, our human superpowers. And when we do that, things start to feel better. And it's really about making those connections, those simple connections. So I'd like to suggest we try a little meditation, a little embodiment meditation. And there are a lot of ways to do it, but let's just start by taking the elevator down into maybe our chest, and then allow your attention, right? We are starting to sense, to feel. Allow your attention to drop into your lower abdomen, perhaps, or your hips or pelvis, or maybe where you're sitting on a chair. Feel your legs, feel your feet. And what I've found in working with patients for over 25 years is that it's the bottom half of our body that is sort of a center, a way to center ourselves. It's the roots of ourselves as human beings. And there are a whole lot of parasympathetic nerves in that part of our body. And it seems like it works for a lot of reasons, but it's partly because we're getting out of our heads. And it's also because we're starting to connect to those parasympathetic nerves in the lower half of our body. So are you doing it? Can you feel something? Maybe in your legs, maybe a softness, maybe an openness, or maybe feel the edges of your skin, or a warmth in your belly. And then you should start to notice that things slow down just a bit. Maybe your mind isn't racing quite so much. Maybe you're starting to breathe a little more fully into your lower belly. There are a lot of breathing exercises out there, right? And they're helpful. And they're partly helpful because they get us in our body, right? This is another kind of embodiment. And there are a lot of ways to do it. But what I've found is most important is that we get in there and that we learn to start to connect to ourselves, because there is so much wisdom inside us, so much built into our body's perfect design. Our bodies have this interconnectedness, right? And our mind, body, and spirit have an interconnectedness. And we feel disjointed, we feel disconnected because we're not connected. And why aren't we connected? Probably because of all of the societal pressures to perform, and because no one really taught us how to do it. So that's what I like to do. I love teaching people how to connect to themselves, and I hope you've had just a glimmer of a sensation of what it feels like to feel whole in yourself and a bit centered in your body. It's something that you can do every day, so give it a try and see how it goes. Be well.